Welcome, welcome, everyone. Welcome, all my fellow visionaries, to the Royal Kingdom. So, I decided that I wanted to do a new segment. It is called the Royal Diaries. Sometimes we wonder, well, what happens after you've been silenced? How do you find your voice? And what does that look like? So, this is my story. This is what I'm up to. And I put it in the form of my daily diaries or daily journal, whichever, but it is called the Royal Diaries. So, and you guys may laugh about this, but I'm going to present to you characters in my head that kind of come to life. I'm not crazy. I am fully sound, mostly. But it's going to be fun. And one thing I wanted to note is when we find our voice, it doesn't have to be the loudest voice. It doesn't have to even be the most successful. And you'll see that as we go along this journey. In this journey, I'm simply going to be my own authentic voice. A few people know that I actually trade. I trade gold, and it is something that I absolutely love. So I think I'm pretty good at it. I don't know. But I decided that I'm going to challenge myself to another level. And this is not a challenge with a whole bunch of people. Well, as you see, I'm going to introduce you to some of my characters, I guess I'll call them. So for the next 4 weeks, I'm going to challenge myself to stick to my system without deviation. I don't know if I can do that. But anyway, we're going to try. So we're going to work on patience. We're going to work on discipline. I can already tell you, patience and discipline, that in itself is going to be a challenge. I really want to take a deep dive into the system that I've cultivated, but it's not going to be about learning to trade as much as it's going to be about the psychology of trading. So you can go on YouTube and everybody talks about this is how they trade, da 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 da. I don't want to do that because I believe everybody trades a little different. Everyone sees the markets a little different. I want to talk about the psychology of trading. And so that is something that you can apply to anything in life that you are trying to get better at. So you'll get to see inside of my head. Now, also, I do want to mention this is not going to be about, oh, how much money did I make at the end of the 4 weeks? Negative. Believe it or not, I don't really even focus on that. So I focus on a few things. And the biggest thing is how much do I stick to my system? Discipline. That's it. Can I do that? We will see. What I will do throughout the process is every day I journal and I'm going to read it to you. Of course, I'm going to have little voices and everything. Now, these characters, I do want to mention, they're not just entertaining. As I mentioned, they're the psychology inside of my mind. They actually represent the different parts of my mind, and I think different parts of every trader, entrepreneur, or anybody just trying to master something in life. You guys, the viewers, are going to be the citizens of the Royal Diaries, the citizens of the kingdom. Now, every kingdom is shaped not only by its ruler, moi, but also by those who faithfully serve the crown. Within these walls live individuals of remarkable character. Some strengthen the kingdom, others test it. Every one of them serves a purpose. So, welcome to my royal kingdom, and let's get started. Now, the first one that you will meet, of course, here is wait, my hand is disappearing. This is Queen Victoria. So, she is the queen. The kingdom doesn't have a name yet, but as we go through, I might give it a name, who knows. But right now, she is the queen, Queen Victoria. We sometimes call her Queen Vic. She is sovereign of the kingdom. She's the rightful ruler of the kingdom. She is neither perfect nor fearless. She's a woman learning that true leadership is not measured by the number of victories she earns, but the consistency of which she governs herself. Remember that. That's going to be a huge thing. Okay. Now, each morning she enters the Chamber of Commerce, the Chamber of Council. Oh, Lord, the Chamber of Commerce. What am I thinking about? The Chamber of Council. So remember that. That is going to be one of the key rooms in the castle. She goes in there seeking wisdom before making decisions. She studies the maps. She listens carefully to her advisors. You'll get to meet them too. And she prepares herself long before the markets ever open. So she's kind of an early riser. You'll see that. She understands something few rulers ever learn, and that is a kingdom is rarely destroyed by one terrible decision. It's slowly weakened by thousands of small compromises. Okay, keep that in mind. Queen Victoria's greatest battle is not against the markets, it's actually against impatience. It's against fear, greed, distraction, sometimes against herself. Now, every evening she asks the kingdom only one question. And that question is, today, did we govern ourselves? So that is the question that I ask myself daily. That is the question that I think all of you as visionaries should be asking yourselves. Did we govern ourselves today? Now, I do want to give a little personality of her. She is humble, yet confident. She's curious, always wanting to know something, learn, read. She's patient sometimes. She's reflective, always thinking. She's disciplined. She's compassionate. She's courageous. She's actually courageous enough to admit when she makes mistakes. Now, she serves the kingdom by making every final decision. So that's a lot of weight on her shoulders. She protects the treasury to make sure that there's enough money in the kingdom. She maintains peace. If there's any quarrels, guess who it falls on? And she listens before taking action. Truth be told, not always. Learning from every victory and every defeat. So that is one thing I can say she does very well. She will learn from what she did well, and she also learns from what she does not do well. Okay. Now, our next person, and I'm super excited to introduce him. This is her ace. His name is Lord Percy. And he is actually pretty cute too. So this is Lord Percy. So Lord Percy, he's the kingdom's wisest counselor. He speaks with clarity. He challenges assumptions and helps the queen see what emotions cannot. His purpose is simple: to protect the crown from impulsive decisions and guide the kingdom with wisdom and patience. So that is Lord Percy. Okay, so he has no desire for power. His purpose is clarity. And every morning before the kingdom awakens, Lord Percy quietly prepares the chamber of council. He makes sure the candles are lit, so the chamber of councils is lit. He makes sure the maps are organized, the charts are studied. Um, he makes sure that coffee waits patiently beside the queen's chair. Now, how nice is that, having a nice man making sure that your coffee is ready for you? One can only dream. He never tells the queen what she wants to hear. He tells her what she needs to hear. Big difference. He tells her when emotions become loud, Percy's voice becomes quieter. When panic spreads, he slows everyone down. He believes wisdom whispers, it never shouts. His personality, of course, you've got to be calm, you've got to be wise, you've got to be patient, thoughtful. He's gentle and he's honest. He's very observant. As I mentioned, he serves the kingdom by challenging assumptions, interpreting evidence, encouraging patience, asking difficult questions, and protecting the queen from emotional decisions. Now, although Lord Percy has his own private chambers in the castle, it's rumored that he actually lives in the Chamber of Council. Who knows if we'll find out or not, but that's what we've heard through the royal grapevine. Okay, so next we have the keeper of the checklist. We call her KC. She is the royal keeper of the checklist, but she's known simply as KC. KC ensures that every emotion never overrides the plan. She protects the process so that the queen can protect the kingdom. Okay, this is KC. She is my left hand, I guess. So some people might think of her as a box checker because she walks around with a checklist and she makes sure that before the queen takes any trades, she's checking, check, check, check. Did it meet the system's requirements? But she's not just a box checker. She's perhaps the most underestimated citizen in the kingdom. She possesses no sword, no crown, no political influence. Instead, she carries something far more powerful, the checklist, the royal rules of engagement. Now, while others rely on confidence, Casey relies on consistency. So she's always at my side whenever I'm trading. She's saying, Your Majesty, did it check off this? Did it check off that? A little annoying sometimes, but necessary. Okay. Now, few more things. She believes discipline should never depend upon emotion. Every trade must pass inspection. Every rule must be honored. Every requirement must receive its proper seal before the gates to the war room are open. The war room is the trading floor. Pacey has no authority to enforce obedience, only to reveal whether the queen has earned permission to proceed. Okay? So that is Casey. She serves the kingdom by protecting the trading system, eliminating unnecessary mistakes, keeping emotions from changing the rules, ensuring consistency. I tell you, Casey has a job. You might think it's easy, but she is the one who keeps me disciplined. So when I want to just see the charts and hit that buy or sell button, she's the one saying, Your Majesty, it did not meet this, it did not meet that. So, Casey, although I give her the side eye, she stays right there and she is stubborn, but in a gentle way. All right, so my next part of my inner circle is Sir Steward. For short, we call him Sir Stewie. Okay. And Sir Stewie carries the kingdom's oldest pocket watch. Why? Because he measures more than hours. He actually guards attention. He guards the time to make sure that the queen's focus is there when she trades. Whenever the queen begins wandering from the present moment, Sir Stewie gently clears his throat. Sometimes he rings a small bell. Ding, ding. Sometimes he simply places his pocket watch upon the table. No lectures, no criticism, only a reminder. Attention. Attention is the kingdom's greatest currency. He teaches that discipline is not built in grand moments. It's built one focus minute at a time. Oh, one of my favorites. Okay. So next we have Reckless Ricky. He actually is the counterpart to Queen Vic. So believe it or not, they're kind of twins. There's Queen Vic and Reckless Rick. And even though it's not mentioned in the kingdom, I honestly believe they're twins. I believe they're like the counter of each other. She's the discipline, he's the wing it, just do whatever. So we consider him kind of an uninvited visitor. We don't know how he got into the kingdom, but no one's put out, no one's left behind. So he's here and we accept him. Now, although causes much havoc, most kingdoms have a villain, but Reckless Ricky, he's not that. He's not a villain. He does not wear black armor. He often arrives looking remarkably unkempt. And there he is. So this is Reckless Ricky, looking like he has been out somewhere drinking and trying to sober up. So as you can see, his cup says YOLO, you only lose once. That's his belief, although we have not proven that to be true because he can lose multiple times in just one day if you let him. So Reckless Ricky, I kind of have this love for him. He whispers things like under his breath, like, I could have taken 20 trades already. And then he starts pounding his fist. You waited long enough. Press the buy button, press the sell button. Just this one time. It'll probably work. He's very impulsive and very impatient. Oh, he despises checklists. So, of course, he and KC are not the best of friends. He hates waiting. So, he and Sir Stewie don't necessarily get along the greatest. He loves certainty, though, where none exist. If someone's ever looking for him, he can usually be found in the dungeon. Now, one thing I have to mention is the queen is never truly trying to banish him. Instead, whenever he appears, the kingdom simply lets out a soft sigh and lets him back in. The royal court smiles politely and escorts him back to the war room where he is supposed to be learning to trade. There's no shame, no argument, just awareness. And because Ricky grows stronger when he's hidden, every market open, he's allowed to enter the trading floor in the war room so we can identify all his flaws. So that way we can address them. Now, he is a little charming, but don't be fooled. He is impulsive. He's confident in the wrong things. Ah, he's emotional. He's persuasive. He's restless. He's easily bored. And of course, last but not least, he is reckless. So that is Reckless Ricky. Um, I do want to give you a little snippet of what we hear from him on a daily basis. Almost every day, I won't say every day, almost every day, we can usually hear Reckless Ricky. Some hearing somewhere in the castle going on. It goes a little something like this. Lord Percy will first announce, Your Majesty, Reckless Ricky has once again requested an audience. Queen Victoria, very well, bring him in. Reckless Ricky walks in. The royal guards escort him in. Casey presents Exhibit A. At 10:45 a.m. this morning, the accused moved his stop loss. Exhibit B. He entered before confirmation. Exhibit C. He ignored the royal rules of engagement. Queen Victoria leans back and where's my nail file? This is Queen Victoria, 100%. She's always filing her nails. Mr. Ricky, how do you plead? Your Majesty, I can explain. What had happened was same story, different day. And then here comes the ruling. This is pretty much the same thing every day. Not guilty, simply denied. Permission to trade tomorrow? Denied. Permission to leave the dungeon? Denied. Permission to touch the buy button? Once again, denied. The queen doesn't hate him. She disciplines him. She keeps inviting him back because she believes that one day he can change. So he's that part of all of us that just wants instant gratification. Some days he's louder than others. We all wonder whatever will happen to Reckless Ricky. In order to find out, you got to keep watching. We also want to know, did Reckless Ricky ever earn his way back to the trading floor? Does he ever get out of the dungeon? So I'll give you a little behind the scenes. As I mentioned, I believe he is actually maybe Queen Vic's twin. I don't know, but we believe he's family. And he was probably sent out of the kingdom as a young child, and now he's trying to come back and earn his rightful way into the royal inheritance. But believe it or not, he's trying to work for it. So we're not mad at him. So if he is family, keep in mind, families don't just throw people away because they're immature. They help them mature. That means every trip to the dungeon isn't punishment, it's rehabilitation. And the dungeon actually isn't a prison, it's where impulsive decisions lose their influence until they're ready to return responsibly. Sometimes when Ricky is escorted away, we may be tempted to think, good, he deserves it. But in the kingdom, remember, there's no judgment. So we simply hope that he's ready the next time he comes out. Because if we're truly honest with ourselves, we've all been reckless Ricky at some time. All right, so he is one of my favorites. I love him. I have much hope for him that he will improve and get better, but we will see. Now, next, I think all of these are my favorites, so I don't know. But the next character in the inner court is, well, he's actually, I don't, yeah, he's in the inner court. He is the bellkeeper. He is the guardian of awareness. So he's not necessarily like Sir Stewie, who focuses on trading. The bellkeeper is more like over the whole kingdom and just kind of observing and taking everything in. Okay. His name is Sir Barton, but we call him for short Barry. Okay. So you know he's from around the way, right? Um, okay. So the bellkeeper, his job is to tend to the gentle bell that watches over the kingdom. The bell's purpose is never to alarm. It's not like a fire bell, ding, 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 ding. It's never rung in shame. It rings only when awareness is needed. So sometimes when Queen Vic is really needed to take a step back, or if something has happened that she's not quite aware of yet, a soft bell can be heard in the distance throughout the kingdom. But usually it's only for those who are quiet enough to listen or to want to hear. So Queen Vic is usually in tune. Reckless Ricky, not so much. I don't think he's ever heard the bell yet. Who knows? So the soft sound drifting through the castle simply says, notice something, nothing more. No accusations, no panic, just an invitation to return to the present moment. The Queen often says that the bell has prevented more poor decisions than any sword ever has. Now, his personality, of course, he's observant, he's peaceful, he's patient, he's wise. He serves the kingdom by calling attention without criticism, by inviting reflection, and by encouraging awareness before action. Okay. Now, the next, I love Barry. Barry's super cool. Now, the next one is the Royal Archivist. So I have to bring, he's so cute. I just want to put him in my pocket. But let me show you, maybe not why, but he is like, let me tell you who he is. The Royal Archivist is like an iPhone or an Android before we had cell phones. He is the one that keeps track of everything. You want to know something that happened? Ask him. And here he is. So he hangs out in the library, and the library is like it's like 40 feet tall. And so he's up and down this ladder all the time. So this is the Royal Archivist. I'll give him a name at some point. I don't think he has a name yet, but we'll come up with a name. Now, he usually stays hidden within the Royal Library. Many times you can walk in there and you don't even see him, maybe because he's so small. But if you go in there, his little eyes are watching everything. He'll see you before you actually see him. Now, his job is he records every campaign exactly as it occurred. Not as anyone wished it happened. Victories receive no exaggeration, losses receive no excuses. So that means that when we talk about, oh, I did this trade, excellent, da 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 da, he simply writes the facts. Or if we feel like, oh my gosh, that was such a terrible trade, again, he simply writes the facts. Losses receive no excuses. Every journal, every lesson, every emotion, every improvement, it is carefully preserved. Whenever the queen begins believing a false story about herself, like the archivist quietly opens the records, the evidence says otherwise. So he basically keeps her and everyone else in check. He is honest, he's meticulous, he's objective, and like most in the kingdom, he is humble. He serves the kingdom by maintaining the trading journals, preserving institutional memory, measuring progress, and preventing self deception. Okay. Now, next, no queen, I think, would be complete if she didn't have her little royal canines. So, first, we will see one of two. This is Dookie's Jasper. And here he is. That is Dookie's Jasper. One brown eye, one blue eye. He is the chief royal guardian. No threat is too great for him. No queen is not worth protecting. So that is Dookie's Jasper. He is the eldest of the royal Dookies. Though small in stature, he carries himself with the confidence of a knight many times his size. His watchful eyes miss very little, and no visitor enters the castle without first being announced by his enthusiastic bark. He believes it is his sacred duty to inspect every hallway, patrol every doorway, and ensure the queen is never alone. His courage is far greater than his size. He has never met a danger he did not believe he could defeat, nor has he ever questioned whether the queen was worth protecting. He is brave, loyal, alert, protective, curious, confident, fearless, sometimes to a fault. He is the guardian of the castle, alerting the kingdom when visitors arrive, walking beside the queen during her daily rounds, and reminding everyone that true courage is measured by devotion, not by size. Now, his partner in crime is Dukie's Oreo, and I will show him to you as well. Here he is. He is the royal watcher, loyal, alert, and always by the queen's side. So, where Jasper guards the kingdom or regards its heart, he has an extraordinary gift for sensing the queen's spirit. On difficult trading days, he quietly curls beside the throne. After joyful victories, he celebrates as though the entire kingdom has won. He asks for nothing more than a gentle touch, a kind word, and the privilege of remaining close to those he loves. In a castle devoted to discipline, Ori reminds everyone that tenderness is not weakness, it is strength. His personality, gentle, loving, patient, affectionate, usually calm, faithful, and comforting. He serves the kingdom by lifting the queen's spirits, bringing peace during difficult days, welcoming guests with warmth, and reminding the kingdom that love is part of leadership. Together throughout the castle, they are affectionately known simply as the Royal Dukies. They attend no meetings, they cast no votes, they offer no market analysis, yet few citizens question their importance. For every kingdom needs someone who reminds its rulers to pause and to smile, to take a walk through the royal gardens, and to remember that a full heart makes wiser decisions than a hurried mind. As Lord Percy has been known to say with a smile, even the wisest queen benefits from the company of faithful friends. Now, there is my fellow visionaries. That's you. Your job, you do have a job too. Your job is not to just watch me build a trading account. You'll watch me build a life, one disciplined by one decision at a time. And this is a story that hopefully others can see themselves in, whether they ever place a trade or not. As I mentioned before, as you see my growth and my challenges, I think everyone who's trying to master anything may see a little bit of themselves in there. Now, the heart of the kingdom. Although each citizen carries a different responsibility, they are united by one enduring truth. And this is the motto. This reigns throughout the land every day. We do not control the markets, we simply govern ourselves. Each character exists to remind us that mastery is not about eliminating fear, impatience, distraction, or temptation. It is about learning to recognize each voice, give it its proper place, and allow wisdom, not impulse, to guide the kingdom. And at the close of every day, when the chamber grows quiet and the candles burn low, Queen Victoria asks the question that echoes through every hallway. Today, did we govern ourselves? The end. So, guys, that is the end of day number 1. And I hope you enjoyed it. I am going to have fun. Today was just an introduction of all the characters, what we're up to. And tomorrow, I think I'll give you guys a tour of a little bit of the castle. So you'll get to see some of the main areas. The castle is pretty huge, so you won't see all of it, but maybe as something goes on, we'll show a little bit of it at a time. But I do ask you, my fellow visionaries, to stay tuned. If you like this, what do they say? Share, comment, subscribe, all of those things. And again, we will be back tomorrow for another episode. This is my 4-week challenge. So wish me luck. And until then, you all govern yourselves accordingly.